Tap water in Canada is regulated to a higher standard than bottled water. Grasshoppers have ears in the sides of their abdomen. You would weigh more at the poles than you would weigh at the equator. However, the difference would only be 0.5%. Approximately, you would weigh slightly more at sea level than at the top of a mountain. This is due to oblateness and gravitational pull. There are more than 150 people cryofrozen right now in the hopes that one day the technology will be invented to revive them, with over 1,000 people registered to do the same upon their death. In France, a bakery, by law, has to make all of its bread that it sells from scratch in order to have the right to be called a bakery. Most airplane crashes happen either 3 minutes after taking off or 8 minutes before landing. In 1967, the Prime Minister of Australia went missing. It was only 4 decades after he went missing that it was confirmed that he had accidentally drowned. A scorpion can hold its breath underwater for up to 6 days. Ethiopia is currently in the year 2006 because it has 13 months in its year. The artificial sweetener Splenda was discovered when a researcher misheard the command to test this chemical as taste this chemical. During World War II, 2 Japanese officers named Tokiyashi Mukai and Tsuyoshi Noda had a contest or race to see who could kill 100 people first using only a sword. Disturbingly, it was covered like a sporting event in Japanese newspapers with regular updates on the score. Coal power stations put out 100 times more radiation into the air than nuclear power plants, producing the same amount of energy. During the lifespan of a human, enough saliva can be created to fill up 2 swimming pools. The driest place on Earth is Antarctica, where some parts haven't seen precipitation for years. Ryan Gosling was casted for the role of Noah in the movie The Notebook because the director wanted someone not handsome. During World War II, prisoners in Canadian war camps were so well treated that they were given games and entertainment like soccer tournaments and musical groups. When the war ended, many of them didn't want to leave Canada. Roughly a third of all food produced in the world for human consumption every year goes to waste. This is approximately 1.3 billion tons, equating to roughly $1 billion down the drain. All the characters in Toy Story only blink one eye at a time. There are more vegetarians in India than any other country. The creator of Peter Pan, J.M. Barrie, gave away the rights to the franchise to the Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital so that they could always collect royalties and fund the hospital. In 2005, there was a reality show that piloted in Germany called Sperm Race, where 12 contestants donated their sperm to a lab, where doctors observed their seed race toward an egg. The winner of the sperm race got a Porsche. Big Ben in London is not the tower, but the bell inside. There are 3 books in the Harvard University that are bound in human skin. If an astronaut got out of his spacesuit on the moon, he would explode before he suffocated. A multi-millionaire named Forrest Fenn has hidden a treasure valued between $1 to $3 million in the Rocky Mountains, and in order to find it, you must solve his riddle. So far, no one has done it or found the treasure. In 1958, Robert Lane from New York City named his son Winner, and later another son Loser. Winner ended up as a criminal with a lengthy arrest record, and his son Loser went on to prep school on a scholarship, graduated from college, and joined the New York Police Department. In California, there's a law that prohibits a vehicle without a driver to exceed 60 miles 97 km per hour. Companies like Google, who make autonomous cars, have the technology to make them go much faster, but must limit them based on this law. Users upload an average of 350 million photos to Facebook every day, and in total have uploaded more than 250 billion photos to date. Your sense of smell and taste begin to improve dramatically within 48 hours of quitting smoking. Experiences that you have throughout your life leave chemical markers on your DNA, essentially ingraining superficial experiences into your descendants. Leonardo da Vinci's The Mona Lisa wasn't famous until it was stolen from the Louvre in 1911. During the American Revolution, many untrained American soldiers used bayonets only to cook meat over fires, rather than using them for close combat. After receiving bayonet combat training from a Prussian general, the American army was able to win an entire battle without firing a shot. Winston Churchill found so much enjoyment and relaxation in laying bricks that he even joined and paid dues in the Bricklayers Union. He even inquired in a letter, "Is there a rule regulating the number of bricks which a man may lay a day? And what are the restrictions on overtime?" In August 2013, Google went down for 5 minutes and as a result, took 40% of all internet traffic with it. Young children biologically have a higher tolerance for sugar, and there is virtually no limit on how much sugar they can handle. Prairie dogs have such a complex means of communication that they can embed descriptions of predators within their calls, and even have a specific call to describe a man with a gun. 25% of the world's gold reserves are reportedly held in a vault underneath the island of Manhattan. Vladimir Klitschko auctioned off his 1996 Olympic gold medal in March 2012 for charity. The buyer paid $1 million, but immediately returned it because he wanted it to stay in his family. Alexander the Great was embalmed in a coffin filled with honey. The demilitarized zone between the border of North and South Korea, with practically no human inhabitants, has become a refuge for multiple endangered animal species. The feat for the fastest red card in football history was achieved by Lee Todd of Cross Farm Park Celtic in mere 2 seconds into the match. Lee Todd was sent off for foul language after he exclaimed "fuck me," that was loud after the starting whistle. A Norwegian rockslide 800 years ago is believed to have created a tsunami so powerful that it turned Britain from a European peninsula into an island. Since many female insects mate just once in their lives, insect populations can be controlled by releasing swarms of sterile males into the wild. The females mate with them, never have babies, and die. The method has eradicated populations of dangerous insects in several regions. A 2012 episode of Peppa Pig was banned from Australia as the central message that spiders were not to be feared was deemed inappropriate for an Australian audience. Elmer Fudd initially just wanted to shoot Bugs Bunny with a camera. He came to the country to photograph wildlife, but bugs drove him crazy, causing him to jump into a lake and nearly drown. After that, Elmer replaced the camera with a rifle. U.S. zip code 12,345 belongs to the main corporate campus of General Electric. GE receives thousands of Santa letters each year from kids believing it would make the most sense for Santa Workshop to have 12,345 as his zip code. After hearing Kennedy's end of the decade speech, an Englishman made a wager with a bookmaker of £10 at January 1000 that a man will set foot on the surface of the moon before the 1st of January 1970. He thought it was a common sense bet. William Banning, father of a soldier who was killed in the Korean War, sent his son's Purple Heart and an angry letter to Harry Truman, blaming him for his son's death. Both items were found in Truman's desk after he died 20 years later. Gray whale's mating ritual involves a third male escort whale courting the female. Although the male escort equally vies for her attention, there is absolutely no aggression between the males. The birthing ritual, on the other hand, involves a second female whale assisting the mother. Some migraines have no pain, but people experiencing them can have vision loss, flashing lights, wavy lines in the vision, and hallucinations. These are known as silent migraines. The word soccer was first used in England before the Americans adopted it. There are about 1,200,000 nerve fibers in each human optic nerve. The gene responsible for Huntington's disease was discovered in 1993. The human brain has 100 trillion synaptic connections. Most walruses appear to be right-handed.